How do we tell the difference between wanting to continue and knowing it's time to stop? Those two things can feel like the same question, but often they are not. Think about someone who loves basketball deeply, who has trained relentlessly, given years to the game, and truly believes in what they are building. The desire is real, the commitment is real, and yet at some point, reality begins to offer a different answer than the heart does. Wanting something, even deeply, doesn't always align with what the situation is telling us. The gap between desire and reality is one of the most uncomfortable places to sit, and one of the most honest. Recently, I came across an interview with Stan Wawrinka after what would become his final Wimbledon. He had just lost in 4 sets. After the match, he said something that resonated with me. "I don't want to retire, but I know it's time to stop." Those words were brutally honest, and that's why they stuck with me. What struck me most wasn't the admission itself, it was the composure behind that expression. Stan sounded like a mix of joy and sadness, all at the same time. He sounded like someone who has sat with both truths long enough to arrive somewhere settled. I think what Wawrinka was describing is being at peace with his own decision, knowing in advance how the final chapter reads. That matters because knowing changes how you experience it. His last Australian Open was his last Australian Open. His last Wimbledon was his last Wimbledon. Each tournament this year carries the awareness with it. If he wins, the career extends just a little further. If he loses, the goodbye is still his to give on his own terms, in his own time. There is something bittersweet about that, and something truly profound. He gets to treasure the environment in a way that only becomes possible when you know it is ending. The crowd, the court, even the competitors he has spent a career alongside, moments that might otherwise pass unremarked, become something worth holding. That awareness, the ability to be present inside a closing chapter, is its own kind of privilege. And naming it honestly as he did, take a particular kind of courage. We often imagine that endings happen because the passion disappears, because the work has become unbearable, or simply because we no longer care the way we once did. Sometimes that's true, other times it isn't. Sometimes the work still matters, the people around it still matter, and the sense of purpose hasn't faded. And yet something tells us, even when we rather stay silent, the next chapter is waiting. The current chapter has fulfilled its purpose. It's not about success or failure. There's a difference, and that difference is worth sitting with today. Holding both truths at the same time is genuinely uncomfortable. The part of us that still loves something doesn't want to hear that its time may be passing, and the part of us that senses the season ending can feel like a form of disloyalty to everything the work has meant. But what Wawrinka was describing was a sense of clarity, the kind that only arrives when we are honest enough to stop asking, "Do I still love this?" and start asking, "Does this still belong to this chapter of my life?" Those are very different questions. There's a particular wisdom in recognizing that difference. It allows us to live with gratitude rather than resentment, to honor what this part of the journey gave us without demanding that it lasts forever. And perhaps that is one of the most honest forms of self-awareness available to us. Recognizing that the answer to, "Do I want to stop?" and the answer to, "Is it time to stop?" may not be the same. And perhaps they don't need to be. So here is something to reflect on. Is there something in your life that you still truly love, yet deep down you sense its time may be coming to an end? What would it look like to to let both of those truths exist together. Because sometimes love isn't a question, timing is. As always, thank you for choosing to spend this time here with me. Your future self is being shaped by the choices you make today. Stay focused on your direction and take time to discover joy along the way. Until next time, make your next best decision and keep moving forward.